Hello and happy Tuesday, which is of course my book reviews day. And today I want to talk to you about Jade City by Fonda Lee, winner of the World Fantasy Award. I'm not gonna lie, I hadn't heard much about this trilogy other than like the tagline or the hook that it's the Godfather plus magic and kung fu. But that tagline or that hook is enough to really draw you in. This is the first of the Greenbone saga by Fonda Lee. It was published back in 2017. And you can tell it's a trade edition because look at all those blurbs. Hooray. This particular trade edition was one I acquired through the signed page a few months back. It was a dinged copy, so I mean it is going to look a little worse for wear. But you know what? It's not a first edition, but it is signed by Fonda Lee, so that's pretty cool. So as much as I don't want to, be reductive and just say it's the Godfather with magic and kung fu, I will say that that is a very accurate description. So Jan Loon in the small island of Kikan, or Kekin, I don't really know how to pronounce it. I say Kikan. The Kikanese is in this mythical land, this mythical world, and is the sole island where one can harvest jade, like Jade City. But this isn't any ordinary jade. You got your little green jade. This is magical jade. It imbues people with like extra strength, extra speed, the ability to kind of do crazy acrobatic shit, which they call being light. It allows them to steal themselves, which protect themselves from certain areas, to deflect objects. It basically makes you a superhero to an extent, albeit without flying around. It makes you superhuman. And because of that, this jade is a very, very popular substance in this world, sought out by many of the other nations of the world. And because of that, the jade business, which is overseen by the Kekanese Jade Alliance, the KJA, is overseen by two families, two clans. The No Peak clan, which is our protagonists, and the Mountain clan, who are the opposing clan. I don't want to say the bad guys, but essentially the bad guys. And not everyone can wield jade. I mean, anyone, I guess, can wield jade, but it's very easy to become overcome with the power, to fall ill to the power and get what is referred to as the itches, which causes you to basically harm yourself, trying to relieve the itches. But through a lot of training, the two primary clans become greenbones, or people who excel at harnessing this jade. So anyways, the jade is kind of controlled by these two major clans, and thus enter the Call family, the head family for the No Peak clan. So the Call family has three main siblings. You got Lan, the oldest brother, who is the leader of the clan. You got Hilo, the middle child, the youngest son, who is more of the enforcer. Think your Sonny Corleone. He's more of a hothead. You have the daughter, Shay, who wants to kind of distance herself from the clan. She kind of wants to go her own way. Kind of think of almost like a Michael Corleone in the first half of The Godfather before he gets, pulled right in. You also have the adopted son, Andon, who is more of like a cousin. He's not actually a full-fledged Call, but he's a Call by adoption, which kind of gives me similarities to Tom Hagen from The Godfather. And I'm not going to lie, I thought there were going to be a lot, when they said The Godfather of Kung Fu Magic, and one of the earliest chapters involved Andon being kidnapped by the rival family, very reminiscent of Tom Hagen being taken by Sollozzo. I was thinking, holy crap, this is just going to be The Godfather. That is not the case. It is not The Godfather. It kind of sets its own path, has its own twists and turns other than The Godfather. I mean, there are certain things that happen which are going to happen in any mob movie, whether it be The Godfather or in Jade City, that you might say, oh, that seems very familiar. But it handles itself well. It is a really excellent binding or combination of kind of Western mobster literature with Eastern influences. Think your Kung Fu films. Now, there isn't too much actual kung fu in the novel. There are some fights, there are some duels to the death, but the kung fu is more in the essence of kind of the Oriental themes within Kekon or Kekken or however you pronounce it, and the families. You see it within kind of like the Dragon Festival, which is like kind of like the Chinese Dragon Boat Festival, I suppose. So you see the influences there. At the basis of the novel, you do have your typical one gang versus another gang, have their hostilities. There's gang war just brooding right beneath the surface. It's there. It's ready to explode like a powder keg. After generations of these two clans finally coming together, generations later, they are almost at each other's throats. It has definitely become more of your god, instead of being, an actual protectorate clan. It has become more of a mob style where they're getting protection money or tribute money from the business owners in their neighborhoods. But I'm not gonna lie, it was a really great read. I loved Fonda Lee's style. It's a very easy to read style, and she does just a great job of getting you in the mindsets of these characters. Each chapter does have its own protagonist. It's not first person narration, so you're not really getting, inward narration from what the characters are thinking. But each chapter does follow a particular character. So primarily the main three calls, Lan, Hilo, and Shay. You do have your chapters from Andon's point of view. You have your chapters such as the very first chapter and then periodic chapters throughout, following Barrow, who is kind of like a street rat. He is green hungry. He's Jade hungry. He's a street rat who wants to make a name for himself. He wants to get Jade for himself because it's highly regulated within these families. He's not within the families. He wants to get the Jade for himself. And it's just those kind of chapters that, man, they draw you in. I had bumped this up the top of my reading pile because Subterranean Press is going to be doing a signed limited edition of this. They just released a signed limited edition of the Jade Setters of Janloon, Janloon being the capital city, which is a prequel to the Greenbone saga here. I did not pick up a copy of that. That sold out very quickly. They brought out a second printing. I think the second printing is sold out now, so there's probably no chance of me actually getting a copy of Jade City without buying it on a secondary market. But I bumped this up the reading pile to see, maybe it'll be one that I'm not going to regret not getting, or it's one I'm going to try to seek out right away. And holy crap, it was good. So if you're a fan of The Godfather and you're like, man, I wish The Godfather had more magic stones and kind of kung fu cinema influence, like you want to see, you want more magic and almost kind of Japanese, Oriental, maybe even Chinese influences within it, then Jade City is the book for you. I've never read any Fonda Lee before, but I absolutely enjoyed this, and I'm starting to dive right into Jade War, which is the second book, which I should hopefully be reviewing in a few weeks, as long as I just keep, my head down and keep reading at it. It's not too lengthy of a read. This one was like 500 pages. Yeah, like just under 500 pages. Jade War is a little bit longer, a little under 600 pages. So it's not going to be your very light, read it in an afternoon kind of book, but you can read it out and knock it out in a couple days if you're that determined, or a week or two if you're a slower reader like myself and you want to soak in the city, soak in the magic of Jade City. But seriously, check out Fonda Lee. I know I am. Like I said, I'm reading Jade War now, also from the signed page, and then I'm going to follow up with Jade Legacy, which is the third title, which I also received from the signed page. I purchased the whole trilogy there. I believe the trilogy is sold out there. I bought like one of the last little dinged copies, so he might have some copies left. If so, they might be better condition than this. But, it's a book. It's going to get read. And I know it was a trade edition, so it involved some traveling in the mail. But hey, I'm happy to get a signed copy, even if I can't get a Subterranean Press edition. So check out my channel. I do unboxing videos every single week, a book review every single week, unboxing videos in between there. And I might try to get a copy of Jade City from Subterranean Press as well, depending on the price and the availability. So please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you around next time.